Hey guys, time for an update on my guitar video. In my last video, I mentioned that I was converting my guitar into an octave mandolin, and I recommended the following string gauges: 12, 16, 34, and 44, based on using this set. And that's totally doable, totally usable. You can definitely do that. One drawback I mentioned was the fact that the A string was a bit of a light gauge and a bit loose. So what I did was I happened to have this set. I had purchased two sets because they're so cheap, compared to what I was used to before with viola strings and violin strings. I mean, these are about, I guess, less than 10 US dollars here in China. Um, I took a 22 gauge string from this set and replaced the A, and it was great. It really fit in well. So my current setup is a gauge of 12 for the E string, a gauge of 22 for the A string, a gauge of 34 for the D string, and 44 for the G string. These are the gauges that I'm using. While playing on a guitar, full-size guitar, I erroneously stated that it was a 24-inch scale length in my last video. In fact, it's a 25.4-inch scale length. I measured it. And then I did a little research online and discovered a lot of folks are playing 22-inch scale lengths. So since the strings were at a pretty high tension and pretty tight, I discovered, well, I can convert this instrument, roughly speaking, into a 22-inch scale length simply by putting a capo on the 3rd fret. It's not exactly 22 inches, but it's quite close. So what I've got now is essentially a 22-inch scale length octave mandolin with a slightly lighter gauge string than what I initially had. And that makes it easier for me to bend the strings and play vibrato, but I can still play very nicely in tune. And I'm still getting pretty good resonance from the guitar top, which is nice because I think I'm basically in the guitar range, standard guitar range of tones now. What's the key benefit that I've gotten, aside from the ability to play vibrato and stretch or bend the strings? Well, of course, as someone who's coming from a mandolin family instrument, I want to be able to play fiddle tunes and the like. And this means now that with a shorter scale length, I don't have to reach so far. Now that's not even moving the capo up the neck at all. That's just what would be the standard octave mandolin tuning. If I go up into a mandola territory, which would be, the what would have been the 5th fret before and is now, I guess, the 8th. I do have to do a slight bit of retuning when I move the capo. However, it's almost like playing the mandolin in terms of the stretch. So now when I'm in mandola range, it's even easier to fret and play fiddle tunes. And I can do it both in this mandola range or in the octave mandolin range. With the mandola range, I don't get such a nice vibration from the top of the instrument. It's a little bit soft, but it's certainly playable. There's still one problem I haven't solved. I bought a C string, which is a 64 gauge string, because checking some online charts, that seemed to be the right gauge for a C string. However, what I find is that the resonance, the tone is strange. I get sort of a variety of weird overtones coming off of the string, which clash with that C intonation. Let's see if it's in tune now. Makes it difficult to tune it. However, I can still play a C chord nicely. Get a very low C from that. And sometimes when I'm playing, even playing a G, I might fret the second fret on that C and play the full chord. In any event, so I'm still doing some research on that, and at some point I hope to get a more accurate, more clear tone and a string that will perhaps stay in tune better than this 64 gauge string for the C string. Although, you know, maybe I've reached the limits of what's possible with a guitar. I don't know. When you're playing on a 22-inch scale length, maybe there's some physics involved, maybe that I'm not familiar with. In any event, I hope this is helpful to somebody out there. Clearly, with each passing video, things are getting better. So who knows? Maybe I'll make another one after a few more weeks and see if I've learned some more about how to do a great job of converting your guitar into a playable octave mandolin. Take care, guys. Be well. God bless us, everyone.